All right, so 252, test 1B, integers for last problem. I'm always amazed how long it takes me to come up with the ones with the integers. Because I start out with, all right, here's the solution. And then I stick in the battery, then I have the resistors with the currents, and then I think I picked two of the batteries, and I just have to figure out what the third battery is.
We were making more work for you. You were basically hoping that we said just random numbers.
Integers typically is easier to grade. So more work up front, less work on the back end. However, I go through, I then plug it into my spreadsheet, and inevitably they're not integers.
Have you graded the first test? Yeah.
Yes, we should probably talk about that too. They are graded, there are still 2 people who have not taken it.
No.
I'm hoping at the end of class I will know when one of those people is planning to take it. If you do not want to discuss it, just go ahead and say it. If you can avoid talking to Nick or showing Nick or Fabian, I can hand it back to you today.
I don't even know who they are, so.
That's Nick.
Oh, okay, all right.
Fabian is the quiet guy, who usually sits behind Paul.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. There's a quiet guy that sits behind Paul.
Yeah.
I think it's just because I sit in front. I don't even look back usually.
Lab, he usually partners with Brian, Nick, and Ibrahim.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
Phil, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question. So.
Only had a whole semester
do you know
together.
what are
Say it again?
Do you know like grades in the class?
Not off the top of my head.
But if I were to go to the website, can I ask?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you do test corrections?
Yes.
How do yours work? Is it the same as software?
Magically.
Magically.
I look at it and go, this guy ticked me off today. Nothing. No, the way it works is you're trying to convince me that you understand what's going on. That my ideal is you'll write something so that I go, okay, now he understands. So your test corrections are done on separate paper. Don't do them on the original test. Especially, don't do them on the original test in the same color ink that you did the original test. Flashbacks. Original grade. Best possible final grade. If you fail the test, you can bring it up to a C. If you got an A on the test, you can bring that up to an A plus. So basically, if I set up a graph here of original and final. So the original anywhere from, I'm assuming that you're taking it, potentially if you just don't show up, you can get a -1. 4, and this, so if your original grade was an F, you could bring it up to a C, so there's your intercept. You got a 4, you can bring it up to 4.3, and there's the line. So now I have 2 points, the line is defined, and so if you got a 3, well, then you bring that up to a
3.
whatever that is. If you got a 2 on it, then, well, 2 is halfway between 0 and 4, so you can bring it up to somewhere, bring it up to 3.15.
Is this gonna be on the test?
The grade that you get on the original test will be 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, plus or minus 0.3. So it could be a 1.3, which would be a D plus, it could be a 2.7, C minus, no. 2.7 would be a B minus. Or a 3.0, or just, I generally just write 3, or B. But the final grade after test corrections is not necessarily gonna be one of those. So if you end up with a 2.67 after the corrections and plug it into here, then it's gonna go in as a 2.67. I don't go, well, which one grade is this closest to? It would go in as 2.67.
How long do we have to turn in?
I generally give 2 weeks. And with the caveat that if in 2 weeks you're still planning to do it, but it's not ready, just let me know when I'm gonna see it.
Well, if we have 2 weeks, I'd take them today.
Okay.
But
Even with all the master's tests and stuff to do next week?
well, okay, we can wait if you
I
want.
don't care.
Yeah, well, look. The 2 weeks primarily is, I don't wanna hang it over your head.
Gotcha.
It's not a comfort for me, because I'm gonna put off grading them for a while. But I don't want, what I don't want is the pile of crap that comes with the stack at the end.
And I guess also whether you wanna deal with potentially bad news today or not.
Yeah, you're okay. I'd rather rip the bandage off.
Okay.
Alright, so at the end, we'll make a side. We'll talk,
And say you're out of the class, sorry.
and then we'll figure out when the test is gonna happen, and then, the rest of you, well, I'll hand it to you, then I'll talk to Nick. That actually makes more sense than just putting all the tests out where you can see everyone's grade.
Have Nick hand them
I'll take that into consideration.
out.
Alright, we've got 15 minutes left. Chapter 3.
Now we're getting into
Around chapter
magnets.
Yes, now we get to magnets.